Who cares? To see how one writer answers the who cares question, consider the following passage from the science writer Denise Grady. Writing in the New York Times, she explains some of the latest research into fat cells. Scientists used to think body fat and the cells it was made of was pretty much inert, just an oily storage compartment. But within the past decade, research has shown that fat cells act like chemical factories and that body fat is potent stuff, a highly active tissue that secretes hormones and other substances with profound and sometimes harmful effects. In recent years, biologists have begun calling fat an endocrine organ, comparing it to glands like the thyroid and pituitary, which also release hormones straight into the bloodstream. Denise Grady, The Secret Life of a Potent Cell. Notice how Grady's writing reflects the central advice we give in this book, offering a clear claim and also framing that claim as a response to what someone else has said. In so doing, Grady immediately identifies at least one group with a stake in the new research that sees fat as active, potent stuff, namely the scientific community, which formerly believed that body fat is inert. By referring to these scientists, Grady implicitly acknowledges that her text is part of a larger conversation and shows who besides herself has an interest in what she says. Consider, however, how the passage would read had Grady left out what scientists used to think and simply explained the new findings in isolation. Within the past few decades, research has shown that fat cells act like chemical factories and that body fat is potent stuff, a highly active tissue that secretes hormones and other substances. In recent years, biologists have begun calling fat an endocrine organ, comparing it to glands like the thyroid and pituitary, which also release hormones straight into the bloodstream. Though this statement is clear and easy to follow, it lacks any indication that anyone needs to hear it. Okay, one nods while reading this passage, fat is an active, potent thing. Sounds plausible enough, no reason to think it's not true, but does anyone really care? Who, if anyone, is interested?